What happened at the Sydney cricket ground will make you cry no matter how tough you are. Usman Khawaja, one of Australia's most beloved cricketers, played his final test match and the emotions were absolutely overwhelming. England formed a guard of honour, the SCG crowd gave him a standing ovation that lasted forever. Khawaja fought back tears as he walked out to bat one last time, and when he was dismissed for just 6 runs, he dropped to his knees in prayer on the sacred turf where his career ends. This is the most emotional farewell cricket has seen in years, and I guarantee you won't make it through this video without tears. Before we relive this incredible moment, hit that subscribe button right now, smash the notification bell, and grab some tissues because you're going to need them. Let's get into it. The moment Usman Khawaja walked out of the dressing room at the Sydney cricket ground for his final test innings, something extraordinary happened that nobody was expecting. The England players, Australia's fiercest rivals in cricket, formed a complete guard of honour to salute one of the game's true gentlemen. Think about what that means. In the middle of an Ashes series, with national pride on the line, with all the intensity and rivalry that comes with Australia versus England, the English players put everything aside to honour Khawaja's incredible career. As Khawaja emerged from the pavilion, you could see the emotion already building on his face. His teammates were applauding from the balcony. The SCG crowd of over 40,000 people rose as one to give him a thunderous standing ovation, and there walking between 2 lines of English cricketers clapping and paying their respects was Usman Khawaja, trying desperately to hold himself together. James Anderson, Stuart Broad, Joe Root, Ben Stokes, every single England player showing the ultimate sign of respect to a warrior who has battled them for over a decade. The Guard of Honour is one of cricket's most sacred traditions, reserved only for the greatest players on their final appearance. It's a moment that transcends rivalry, that goes beyond winning and losing, that recognizes the contribution someone has made not just to their own team but to the entire sport. For England to do this for an Australian player during the Ashes shows exactly how much respect Khawaja has earned throughout his career. He's not just admired by Australian fans, he's respected by opponents, commentators, and cricket lovers all around the world. If you're already getting emotional, hit that like button and let me know in the comments your favorite Usman Khawaja memory. Khawaja walked through that guard of honour with his head held high, acknowledging each England player with a nod, soaking in the atmosphere of the SCG one final time, carrying the hopes of a nation on his shoulders for one last innings. The cameras captured every moment, zooming in on his face where you could see the mixture of pride, gratitude, and overwhelming emotion. This is what cricket is all about. This is why we love this sport. Because moments like this remind us that beyond the competition, beyond the results, beyond the statistics, cricket is about respect, dignity, and honoring those who have given everything to the game. Usman Khawaja took his position at the crease for the final time in Test cricket, and you could feel the weight of the moment hanging over the entire stadium. Every ball was being watched by millions of people around the world who wanted to see Khawaja go out in style, to score a fairy-tale century in his final innings, to give the SCG crowd one last reason to celebrate. The pressure was enormous, the emotions were running high, and Khawaja was fighting not just England's bowlers but also the tears that were threatening to overwhelm him. The first few balls were survived with typical Khawaja class and technique. He defended solidly, left well outside off stump, looked comfortable and settled. The crowd cheered every defensive shot as if it was a boundary. They were savoring every moment, knowing that each ball could be the last time they ever see Usman Khawaja bat for Australia. The England bowlers were bowling with respect but also with determination, because despite the emotion of the occasion, this was still the Ashes and they still had a job to do. Then it happened. On just 6 runs, a delivery from Stuart Broad found the edge of Khawaja's bat and flew to slip where Joe Root took a comfortable catch. The crowd fell silent in disbelief. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Khawaja stood there for a moment, looking at the ground, knowing his international career was over, knowing he wouldn't get another chance. The umpire raised the finger, and Usman Khawaja had to begin the longest walk of his life back to the pavilion. But here's where something incredible happened that will be remembered forever. Instead of immediately walking off, Khawaja removed his gloves, took off his helmet, and dropped to his knees right there on the pitch. He bowed his head in prayer, placing his forehead on the SCG turf that has been his second home for so many years. The entire stadium watched in absolute silence as one of their heroes said goodbye to Test cricket in the most emotional and spiritual way possible. Tears were flowing down Khawaja's face as he stayed there on his knees, and there wasn't a dry eye in the entire ground. Make sure you drop a comment if you're crying right now, because this moment is absolutely heartbreaking. After what felt like an eternity, Khawaja stood up, picked up his bat, and began the walk back to the pavilion. The standing ovation was deafening. Every person in the stadium was on their feet, clapping, cheering, crying, showing their appreciation for everything Khawaja has given to Australian cricket. The England players formed another guard of honour, applauding him off the field with genuine respect and admiration. Khawaja raised his bat to all corners of the ground, waving to the crowd who had supported him throughout his career, trying to smile through the tears that were streaming down his face. To understand why this farewell was so emotional, you need to understand Usman Khawaja's incredible journey in cricket. This is a man who has faced more adversity, overcome more obstacles, and shown more resilience than almost any other Australian cricketer in recent history. Khawaja's career has been a roller coaster of being dropped, recalled, dropped again, fighting back, proving doubters wrong, and ultimately cementing himself as one of Australia's greatest opening batsmen. Khawaja made his Test debut way back in 2011 against England at the SCG, the same ground where his career would end 15 years later. But his early years were filled with frustration. He showed glimpses of brilliance but couldn't maintain consistency, getting dropped from the team multiple times. Many players would have given up, would have accepted that they weren't good enough for international cricket. But not Khawaja. He went back to domestic cricket, worked on his game, scored mountains of runs for Queensland, and kept knocking on the door until Australia had no choice but to pick him again. The turning point came when Khawaja was moved to open the batting. Suddenly everything clicked. He found his role, his position, his purpose in the Australian team. As an opener, Khawaja was phenomenal. He developed a rock-solid technique against the new ball, the patience to wear down opposition attacks, and the ability to score big hundreds that put Australia in winning positions. His partnership with David Warner became one of the most successful opening combinations in Australian cricket history. But Khawaja's significance goes beyond just runs and centuries. He became the first Muslim cricketer to represent Australia in Test cricket, breaking down barriers and inspiring countless young people from diverse backgrounds to pursue their cricket dreams. Khawaja has always been vocal about representation, about inclusion, about making cricket a sport for everyone. He wore a black armband during matches to show solidarity with humanitarian causes, used his platform to speak out against injustice, and conducted himself with dignity and class that made him a role model far beyond the cricket field. If Usman Khawaja has inspired you, smash that like button and subscribe for more emotional Aussies cricket stories. Khawaja finishes his Test career with over 5,000 runs, multiple centuries including several match-winning performances, and the respect of everyone in the cricket world. He was part of Australia's World Test Championship victory, played crucial roles in Ashes series, and proved that perseverance and belief in yourself can overcome any obstacle. His final Test average of around 40 shows consistency at the highest level. But statistics don't tell the whole story. Khawaja's impact on Australian cricket goes far beyond numbers. He changed perceptions, opened doors, and showed that success comes in many forms. While Khawaja's personal story ended with disappointment at being dismissed for just 6 runs, the bigger picture is that Australia absolutely dominated England to win the Ashes series 4-1. This was a comprehensive thrashing of the old enemy, a statement that Australia remains the powerhouse of Test cricket, and a perfect way for Khawaja to go out as an Ashes winner one final time. England came to Australia with hopes of winning their first Ashes series down under in years, but they were completely outplayed in almost every department. The Ashes victory means everything to Australian cricket. This rivalry is over 140 years old, it's the most famous contest in cricket, and winning it is the ultimate achievement for any Australian cricketer. Khawaja has been part of multiple Ashes campaigns throughout his career, tasting both victory and defeat, but to finish on a winning note in front of his home crowd at the SCG is the perfect ending. Even though he didn't score the runs he wanted in his final innings, he contributed throughout the series with crucial performances that helped Australia dominate. The celebrations after Australia's victory were bittersweet because everyone knew this was Khawaja's last dance. His teammates mobbed him, lifted him on their shoulders, made sure he was front and center during the trophy presentation. Steve Smith gave an emotional speech thanking Khawaja for his service to Australian cricket. Pat Cummins, the captain, praised Khawaja's leadership and influence in the dressing room. The younger players talked about how much they learned from watching Khawaja prepare, train, and handle the pressure of international cricket. Make sure you're subscribed because we'll continue bringing you all the emotional moments and breaking news from Australian cricket. Khawaja's legacy in Australian cricket is secure. He'll be remembered as a fighter who never gave up, an opener who could occupy the crease for hours and frustrate opposition bowlers, a pioneer who broke down barriers for Muslim athletes, and most importantly, a genuine person who treated everyone with respect and kindness. The next generation of Australian cricketers will look at Khawaja's career and understand that talent alone isn't enough, that you need resilience, mental toughness, and unwavering belief in yourself to succeed at the highest level. As Khawaja walked off the SCG for the final time, he carried with him the gratitude of an entire nation. Australian cricket is better because of Usman Khawaja. He's given us unforgettable moments, inspired millions of people, and shown that with hard work and determination, dreams really do come true. His Test career might be over, but his impact will be felt for generations to come.